If you want to build a startup someday or even just understand how big companies like Airbnb, Dropbox, Stripe or Reddit were born, there is one name you cannot ignore: Paul Graham. Co-founder of Y Combinator, mentor to thousands of founders, and the writer of the internet's most influential startup essays. But here's the thing most people don't know. Paul Graham doesn't teach motivational startup tips. He teaches how founders actually think, how they make decisions, how they find ideas, and how they survive the early chaos. Today, we are breaking down his most important essays, especially how to start a startup, into simple, practical lessons with real examples and clear explanations you can actually use. Let's get started. The 3 things every startup needs and why they're non-negotiable. 1. Good people. 2. A product people want. 3. Spending little money. Sounds simple, right? But when you unpack this, it's surprisingly deep. Good people means co-founders who can build things, can solve problems, can stay calm under pressure, and won't quit when things get hard. He always says, a startup is basically a group of people who work well together. Think about that, not fancy offices, not massive funding, just people with high ability and high trust. Now, the second point, a product people want. This is the heart of product market fit. If people want what you're building, you don't have to push it. They pull it out of your hands. Think about early Airbnb. It wasn't a big company. It was just 3 founders renting out air mattresses. But the idea solved a real problem: cheap, comfortable stays during sold-out conferences. Third, spending little money. This one shocks new founders who think they need big funding. Paul's idea is simple: if you spend less, you survive longer, which means more time to learn, then more time to fix mistakes, more time to reach product market fit. Startups don't die because they run out of ideas. They die because they run out of money before understanding what customers want. Lesson 2. How to actually get startup ideas, the opposite of what you think. Most people think startup ideas come from brainstorming or inspiration. Paul Graham says the opposite. The best startup ideas come from noticing something missing in your own life. He calls this the organic idea path. You feel a problem, you try to solve it, you realize millions of others have the same problem. Example, Dropbox founder Drew Houston hated carrying USB drives and emailing files to himself. He built a small syncing tool for personal use. Turns out millions of people needed it too. Key point: if you build something for yourself, you immediately understand the problem better than 99% of people. Paul Graham also says, don't chase big ideas, chase real problems. Because the big ideas usually reveal themselves later. Lesson 3. Before you start a startup, start learning. In another essay, Before the Startup, don't try to start a startup too early. Instead, build expertise. Why? Because real expertise helps you see problems others don't notice, build solutions others can't build, have insight that outsiders will never have. Think of founders like the Steve Jobs deeply understood the design. The Amazon founder deeply understood the market. The Tesla founder deeply understood the technology. Expertise is your competitive moat. Paul Graham says, the way to get startup ideas is not to try to think of startup ideas. Instead, explore, learn, experiment. Your brain will automatically connect the dots. Lesson 4. Startup equals growth. This one sentence changes everything. One of Paul's most famous lines, a startup is a company designed to grow fast, not slowly. Not steadily, but fast. This one sentence explains why. Startups raise funding, startups chase product market fit, startups obsess over user experience. Startups focus on one core metric. Growth is not a vanity number. Growth is a health check. If users aren't coming back, you have no business, just a product demo. Airbnb, Stripe, Reddit, Dropbox YC's biggest successes all showed early, steady growth. That's the sign. Graham says, show me your growth rate and I'll tell you how healthy your startup is. If you ever plan to build a company, remember, growth isn't a goal, it's your compass. Lesson 5. Do things that don't scale. This is one of his most famous ideas as, in the early days, you should do manual, unscalable work. Examples: Airbnb founders personally photographed hosts' rooms. Stripe founders installed the product on users' laptops themselves. DoorDash founders delivered food themselves. Why is this powerful? Because unscalable work gives you real-time feedback, real user pain points, real learning, real loyalty. These actions don't scale, but the insights scale massively. Graham says, a small number of users who love you is better than a large number who like you. That's how breakout companies are born. Lesson 6. Founder mode: stay close to product. Paul Graham believes founders shouldn't detach from product too early. Founder mode means obsessing over user pain, personally talking to early users, staying close to design, personally ensuring quality, protecting the product vision. The moment founders detach and hire managers for everything, the product usually gets weaker. Every strong company, Apple, Tesla, Google, Meta, in early years had founders heavily involved in the product. Lesson 7. The real formula: solve a real problem for a small group. Paul Graham's final message ties everything together. Don't try to look big. Don't chase hype. Don't build for the whole world. Instead, build something small, for a small group, who desperately need it. If 50 people love your product, you can make 500 love it. If 500 love it, you can make 5,000 love it. That's how every great startup begins. Final takeaway: Paul Graham's essays aren't motivational quotes. They are a practical manual for building something real. Start with people you trust. Solve a problem you understand. Grow fast by listening to users. Learn constantly. Do the hard, unscalable work first. And stay close to the product. This is the real startup mindset, the mindset that built some of the most iconic companies in the world. If you want similar breakdowns, subscribe to How They Built Business, where we decode real founders, real strategies, and real execution.